If you want to see something funny, just ask any black Democrat anything about politics. Though black people are very good at code switching and appearing like they're knowledgeable in different areas when it comes to politics, the reality is most black people are not truly critically thinking about their political decisions. Instead, they are being told exactly what they are supposed to think by their Democrat overlords. It's really just projection at the end of the day. Everything they accuse MAGA or Black MAGA of doing and being is everything that they are. But in a very rare instance, there's an area where MAGA can teach the black community a very important lesson. And the recent advents concerning Iran and MAGA sticking with Donald Trump, even though the entire mainstream news media is against him, the entire congressional body and senatorial body is against him, even as once trusted allies betray Trump, MAGA still holds strong.
Taking a look at what's happened with the president and whether his popularity has changed at all, just judging on this, what are you learning?
Yeah, what are we learning? Which is perhaps it's not so much of a surprise when just 45% of Americans say they care a lot about the Iranian situation, that the president's overall approval rating is the same. It's the same. It was 41% before the current war in Iran started, and it is 41% now. So despite, again, all the hubbub, despite all the critics of the president of the United States, what we are seeing right now is a president whose approval rating is steady, and this has not been a big deal politically.
There. All right. With us now, CNN chief data analyst Harry.
I'm looking at you at that same
It's the
smile.
same way that they look at each other here. Look, when you talk about the prediction markets, how has, what's happened to Marco Rubio's stock over the last few weeks?
Marco Rubio is hot, like a summer heat wave. I mean, just take a look here. Over the last 6 months, Chance Rubio's the 2028 GOP presidential nominee. He was just at 7% 6 months ago. Hello, up like a rocket, 27% chance now. What is that? That's quadrupling his chances in 4 months' time. Marco Rubio's chances, according to the Kalshi prediction markets, way up.
Okay. Why?
Why are his chances way up? Well, one of the reasons why his chances are way up is because the MAGA base really likes the U.S. military action in Iran. Take a look here. Okay, MAGA GOP on the U.S. military action in Iran. Look at this. Nearly 9 in 10, 89% approve of the U.S. military action in Iran. That is the MAGA GOP base. Just 9% disapprove of it. This is tremendously popular among the Republican base. And, of course, Marco Rubio, Secretary of State, overseeing the effort. It seems to me that a lot of people are taking that into account, including President Donald Trump, who has been smiling an awful lot at Marco Rubio lately.
Look at those smiles right there.
Okay, so the first thing we have to understand is when you're used to never getting what you want or what you're asking for from your political party, you look at others and you actually get angry or you're puzzled as to why they support their political party or the candidate that they support. Well, here's the thing. Black America can't understand MAGA. They really can't understand Black MAGA. And the reason they can't understand MAGA or Black MAGA is because they've never experienced what it feels like to have a candidate run on several issues, get in office, and then do everything he or she can to get to work, everything they can to accomplish those goals, right? If you look at what it means to be a woke Black Democrat, it's really just constant disappointment. Look at New York. In Chicago, Black Democrats overwhelmingly supported Mayor Brandon Johnson. What did they get? They got replaced and displaced by illegal immigrants who came across the border without papers. Look at the city of New York. Black people supported Zohran Mamdani in a major way. What did they get? They're getting their taxes raised, their property taxes raised, so that they can pay for all of the programs that Mondani has slotted for illegal immigrants in the coming future. Same thing in Seattle, same thing in every single place where woke Democrats and their mindless black supporters have taken over the government, the city administration, and are now running the city into the ground. So it makes sense when I get black people coming for me, oh, you MAGA, you this and that. I don't get upset. I don't take it personal. I understand that they don't understand what it feels like to have a candidate that you vote for, and that candidate actually comes in trying to do the things that they have told you that they would do. There's a podcast called the Viral Way Podcast. I was on that podcast for a little while, and basically it was just me arguing with a bunch of people who didn't do any research and didn't know anything. Well, today they posted a clip on Instagram, and the main host of the other dudes aren't even hosts, they're just people sitting there for I don't know why, comic relief. The main host came with a pretty dumb question. Black MAGA, what did you guys get? And then he starts going down this list of all the things that he believes that MAGA did not get. But the reality is MAGA got almost everything they wanted, and they got it in a really short span of time. But instead of learning from MAGA, instead of learning how they should operate when it comes to politics in this country, Black America continues to be stubborn and resistant to the reality. I am telling you today, there is not a single black person on earth alive today that can tell you what African Americans have received in the 75 years that they've been voting Democrat. And when I say what they've received, I mean what they've received specifically. I'm not talking about things that they received that every other group is getting, like civil rights. I'm talking about, what did you guys receive personally that can explain why you've been loyal to the same party, and not just loyal to the party, violently, viciously opposed to the idea of voting for another party. It really makes no sense. But I think that MAGA can really teach America, but especially Black America, a lesson.
Again, and I should say that this also gets to the issue of how popular is this war in the president's base. According to the numbers, pretty popular.
Yeah, Tucker Carlson be darned. This war is very popular among the GOP base.
So you're seeing that. Okay, so now it comes as a surprise to CNN, and a lot of these people, all they watch when it comes to news is CNN. They're not watching other channels. They're not watching other news sources so they can get an understanding of what the other side is truly thinking. Most people, they just either watch CNN or Fox News, and they don't watch both. So when people are seeing that MAGA is still strongly supporting Trump at a clip of 89%, despite what's going on in Iran, they're shocked. They don't realize that MAGA actually trust the candidate that they voted for, and they're not going to just throw that candidate away because they understand something very important. On the other side, there's nothing. On the other side, there's chaos. On the other side, there's nothing but hate and cancellation, where everything is being torn down. And that's all radical Democrats can do, is tear things down. If you look in Los Angeles, my city, well, I'm from Long Beach, but I'm right by Los Angeles, they are literally trying to get rid of Cesar Chavez. They're literally the guy who basically ran and led the migrant farm workers revolution. The Democrats locally in Los Angeles are literally trying to cancel Cesar Chavez due to rape allegations or sexual assault allegations made by some woman who is like long dead. Oh, this person accused Cesar Chavez of doing this, so let's cancel Cesar Chavez and turn Cesar Chavez Day into the day of whoever this woman is. We don't know what the facts are. I don't think she's around anymore, so we'll never be able to get the facts, but we're getting rid of things that have a lot of meaning to a lot of people. That's all Democrats do. They don't know how to build. All they know how to do is destroy. Take money out of your pocket and then use that same money to destroy you. 100%. I didn't think I would wake up this morning and see Mexican, Hispanics, and blacks in LA trying to cancel Cesar Chavez. And you think, like, have you ever been to Skid Row? I think you have more important things to worry about as a black Democrat because Skid Row is overwhelming. Black people are overrepresented in Skid Row. Though we are the smallest population in Los Angeles, we are the vast majority of the people on Skid Row living in homelessness and abject poverty. But we'll get on a bandwagon with Democrats to destroy Cesar Chavez Day, but we'll never ask those same Democrats, well, you guys have been running California with a total monopoly over the government for the past 40 years. Why is this still the way it is? Why is it that as long as Democrats have been in control, black people in California have been getting poorer and poorer, and the state representatives have been getting richer and richer? They're worried about the wrong things. So of course they're going to be mad at you because all they know how to do is cancel. It's like a boxer that just has one good punch. They're just going to keep trying to use that same punch over and over. Everyone's going to figure it out, and they're going to be asking themselves, why isn't what I'm doing working? Deontay Wilder.
Right now,
go
but
ahead.
I'm
You're
sure
on the
you
road
look
trip
lovely
here.
and great. Okay, so I'm in Millersburg, Pennsylvania. The reason I'm here is it's a swing district, Pennsylvania's 10th district in a swing state. President Trump won this district by about 5 points, but the local congressman, Scott Perry, is in danger of losing the midterms. And we wanted to talk to people about their feelings about gas prices, about the war. You mentioned Pennsylvania's average gas price, about $3.76 a gallon right now. We went to like the cheapest place around, $3.54.9 a gallon here, and talk to folks. Better you hear from them than from me about how they're feeling.
Let's roll the tape.
The decision to strike Iran.
It was a great decision. I think somebody else should have done it a couple of years ago, the last 3 other presidents.
Are you willing to pay higher prices at the pump if that's the cost?
Yeah, I'm willing to pay a little more, yeah.
What do you think about the war?
I think he's doing the right thing. You know, in the long run, it's going to help us out because if they get nuclear weapons, we might not even be here in a couple of years. So I think he's doing a good job.
Is it worth the rise in the price of gas?
Yeah, I think so.
What do you think about the U.S. decision to go into Iran?
I think we got to do what we got to do to keep this country safe. So, and if it means paying a little bit more in gas right now to keep everybody safe, then that's what we got to do. And eventually they'll come back down.
Wow. So look, why is it that me, a Trump supporter from California, expresses the same exact sentiment when asked whether I support the action that is taking place in Iran? Why is it that I share the same exact sentiment as these people? Because MAGA has found a way to bond and come together over a common understanding. That is what the liberals and the woke people have failed to do. They can't come together because they're too busy trying to destroy each other while simultaneously trying to destroy MAGA. They have the midterms coming up. They're supposed to be making a case against Trump as to why he shouldn't have went into Iran, but instead they're trying to cancel holidays for Hispanic patriarchs. It makes no sense. Canceling Cesar Chavez is going to do exactly what? It's going to cost a bunch of money that California doesn't have. It's going to waste a lot of time that the people of the United States don't have. And when it's all said and done, guess what? Latino or Hispanic people lose someone who is considered by millions and millions of those people to be a hero. Is that the world you want to live in? But overwhelmingly, the reality is this: Democrats have nothing to offer America that makes more sense or that will be more effective than what Donald Trump is doing. Everyone has something to say. I have friends all over social media. Oh, it's easy to hate. It's easy to bring up things and try to get gotcha moments. But what's not easy is to answer this question. Okay, if we get rid of Trump, who are you going to put in place? No Democrat can tell you which Democrat politician they would have replace Trump in the presidency. You're going to say Gavin Newsom? Well, the reality is Gavin Newsom's most likely going to do the same damn thing that Trump is doing while breaking the bank because of corruption. Oh, you want Kamala Harris? Kamala Harris is going to do the same thing Trump's doing while allowing millions and millions of illegal immigrants to invade the country. So how do you really win at the end of the day? What do you really gain at the end of the day? These people are like, we hate Trump. We don't like Trump. My question to these people is like, okay, you don't like Trump, but what is your answer? What is your alternative? They don't know. They don't know. All they know is the reality is they didn't come to the idea. They didn't arrive at the conclusion that they don't like Trump by themselves. They've been told that they don't like Donald Trump. And what they're doing is they're trying to knock you off your square, loyal to the person that you support, while they're waiting to be told by their party who they should like or support. These type of people you can't listen to. These type of people have bad intentions. A lot of them are just useful idiots. They don't really know why they're doing or saying what they're doing. A lot of these people are just like, look, man, this is what the TV told me. This is how the TV told me I should feel. And I'm going to listen. I'm going to obey what the TV told me. And if you dare to think for yourself, they're going to attack you. Because that's what they've been trained to do. Attack. That is it. That is all. They don't really have another agenda. Well, we're just going to keep attacking the Republican candidates. That's their mind. We're going to keep attacking the Republican candidates until one of them breaks. That's how you're going to move the country forward? Oh, no. We're going to bend the knee to Iran and let them know that really they should be in charge. Who does that? What group of people exists in that way? How do you plan? How do you plan for the future of your children when you got people saying, you know what, you should just surrender to this hostile terrorist regime? Not because they have a goal or there's anything to be gained from it, but simply because they don't like the person who is taking action. That's it. But it's not going to work. And so if you're a person who is MAGA or even a Trump supporter, you're pretty much going to have to just be ready to deal with these people for the next couple of years. They're going to keep telling you they can do it better. They're going to keep telling you that what you're doing is wrong. But the minute you ask them, okay, if what I'm doing is wrong, what is your alternative? They're not going to be able to tell you. They're not going to be able to tell you. I don't know what the hell's going on with my camera. They just know that they don't want Trump in the White House because that's what they've been told to think and believe by the people who control what they do. It's really like a very sad case of mind control. And you would think like African Americans or black people would be a little bit more strong-willed than that. But as a black American, I've learned we're not. We're not. We really don't even want to have to pay attention to it. But we have to answer the call whenever the Democrats call us or we'll be considered disloyal. Well, the reality is we've been as loyal as we can be. They just have never, ever given us anything in return. And they're never going to give us anything in return. It's like Dr. Boyce Watkins said. I was shocked. Dr. Boyce Watkins said, why are black people steady trying to hold the Republican Party accountable? Why is black America steadily trying to make the Republican Party explain itself to them? The Republican Party is not who you voted for. The Republican Party is your enemy, your rival. So why do you keep trying to take them to task? The group you voted for are the Democrats. No. Don't say both parties, Jamal, because you didn't vote for both parties. You didn't vote for both parties. You only voted Democrat. Black people have supported Democrats at about 85 to 90% for the past 75 years. I don't even understand how black people have anything to say about the Republican Party. But what I do know is illegal immigration disproportionately impacts black Americans. That is a study that was conducted by the Obama administration. So Obama made it a point to become the deporter in chief, and I give him credit. He attempted to help black people by getting rid of illegal immigrants because he understood the disproportionately negative impact illegal immigration had on the black community. Donald Trump is now doing the same exact thing. And you got black Democrats who be, what did Trump do for you? What do you mean? He stopped the surge of illegal immigrants, low-skilled labor. You could sum it up as competition for black America from coming across the border. That alone would have been enough for black America to rally behind Trump. Not to mention the First Step Act permanently funding HBCUs. And the list goes on and on. But when you're being told what to think and you don't have the mental strength to say, no, I got to be subjective. I got to be objective. I have to go based on what the facts dictate or say. When you don't have the ability to do that, you will constantly be in a form of purgatory, a state of limbo where you're just constantly suffering. See? And I love Jamal's comment. Same coin, different side, same people. No, this is an ignorant statement by Jamal. Because how do you know that side's going to be the same when you've never supported that side? Answer that. How do you know what's inside your neighbor's house if you've never been in your neighbor's house? You can go in one neighbor's house and it's dirty. You be like, man, their house dirty. But that doesn't mean just because that neighbor's house is dirty, the other side is dirty. That's a cop-out. That is what's called a cop-out. You can ask a very simple question. Were you okay with illegal immigrants being allowed to surge across the border under Biden? No. Well, Trump stopped that. Were you okay with Israel bombing the shit out of Gaza? No. Trump stopped that. The Democrats didn't even move to stop the bombing in Gaza. They were just like, okay, we going to let Israel like a dog off the leash go crazy on Gaza. And we're not going to say anything. Trump came into office. He immediately got that situation rectified. But this is what happens. You lose all credibility when you can't be honest. When you have to be intellectually dishonest to stay loyal to the party that you want to support. You just end up making a fool out of yourself. My own uncle was like, we are talking at Thanksgiving. I said, what's your issue with Trump? Oh, man, I don't like what's going on with Gaza. I said, so who you vote for? Kamala. I said, Kamala was vice president when Israel started bombing Gaza. She did nothing. She did nothing. Even when she was running during the election, she never was like, I'm going to make sure Israel stops bombing Gaza. She never did that. She never did that. Oh, I just don't want to see the little kids getting bombed. I said, so you're telling me that Donald Trump stopped the bombing that was killing little kids, but you hate Trump? Well, it's too late now. It's never too late. I don't think the little kids who are alive in Gaza felt like it was too late. I'm pretty sure they feel relieved that somebody was man enough to stand up and say, hey, let's put an end to this foolishness. But this is the black mind. This is the black mind. We have one set of standards for Republicans, but then we have no standards for Democrats. They can just do whatever the hell they want to. And I'm going to keep voting for them. What is this? We were Republicans and held the most seats. You need to Google real quick. I know we were Republicans during Reconstruction. You need to Google. And that's another thing with African-American people. They always think they know more than you. In their mind, every other black person is stupid. But I'm not the one voting Democrat talking about they're two wings of the same bird, even though you can see that they're not. How is something two wings of the same bird when one group was like, let 20 million illegal immigrants into the country, and the other group was like, nah, we're going to stop that immediately. It doesn't make sense. But this is the lesson that MAGA can teach the black community. Get behind somebody who's delivering on what they promise and stick with them. Sitting up all Democrats do is seek to gain the moral advantage over each other. I'm a better person than you because I care more about things that don't matter. It's ignorant. Jamal said, if I told you how you tell me, you're not telling me, you're bringing it up. But if I already knew it, you're not telling me I knew it. I think anybody who has the ability to read should know that. Visionary, I like it. No loyalty to no politician. Yeah, no loyalty. Only support them if they deliver for you the things you want. So my question to you would be, why are black people still supporting Democrats at 90%? If there's no loyalty to any politicians and you should only be supporting them if they offer you something, why are black people still voting Democrat at 90%? Because we already know that Democrats ain't delivered black folks nothing. Nothing at all. I'm just saying. But we got to keep living in delusion, pretending like everything is all good so we don't offend the Democrat Party. Ain't it crazy to be scared to be disloyal or to be scared to offend a group of people that ain't never gave you nothing? Look at how the Democrats just did Jasmine Crockett. Black folks still, they was mad about Crockett, they still gonna show up and vote Democrat. Look at how the Democrat Party did Jamal Bowman, Cori Bush, Fonnie Willis, Nina Turner. And the list goes on and on. That's why black America can learn a very valuable lesson from MAGA. Because we've had the same president since 2016. Even when he lost to Biden, when he stole the election, because now we could say it was stolen because we have proof now. Even after Biden stole the election, MAGA stuck with Trump. And Trump came in and he delivered for MAGA. MAGA ain't cool with Americans getting killed by Iran and nobody doing anything. What did Biden do to get back at Iran for killing 46 Americans in 2023? He did nothing. He went to the beach in Delaware and sucked on an ice cream cone. What did he do to retaliate against Iran for holding 5 Americans hostage? He did nothing. He gave them $6 billion, which they used to sponsor terrorism all over the world. What did he do to get Iran for kidnapping 12 American citizens on October 7th after they killed 46? He did nothing. And the black folks are probably the most vengeful people on earth. But somehow, they've been convinced by white folks, nah, just let Iran keep doing shit to you. Just turn the other cheek. Yeah, but MAGA doesn't feel that way. And MAGA's going to save us all. So cool. Oh, but Trump would unalive us faster. Yeah, you're still stuck on stupid. Trump will unalive us faster? The Democrats even got you talking dumb. You mean Trump will kill us faster? Well, they've been saying that since 2016, and it's never happened. He's going to put us back in chains. Where are the chains at? Trump's going to kill us. Where are we dead? But this, I told you guys, if you want a good joke, have a conversation with a black liberal about politics. This person is still talking about Trump's going to kill us. Trump's going to unalive us. Trump ain't killed no Americans. But this is what you have to believe. So Cool is probably a black man. He's afraid to think for himself. He's literally, the Democrats have trained him like a dog to not use the sense that God gave him. And he's proud of that. He's proud of that. I'm proud to be dumb and a puppet under. They talk about Trump being a puppet of Israel, but can't realize that they're puppets of the Democrat Party. Ain't that about nothing? Let's be real. They talk about Trump being a puppet of Israel, but can't even see that the black community has been a puppet of the Democrat Party since time immemorial for us, before we were born. Everything that they accuse MAGA of being, that's what they are. And that's okay. But take the blinders off. Pay attention with what's going on, and you can learn something. Democrats learn from black media. Yeah, they probably do. That's a true statement. Democrats know that black people value symbolism in entertainment over everything. Why do you think old-ass Nancy Pelosi bent them crusty-ass knees with that kente cloth to go down on the knee to, I don't know what she was commemorating. I think it was George Floyd or Colin Kaepernick or something. But she knew that would make a lot of inroads with black voters. Yeah, we're not going to give you shit, but we'll do all the buck dancing and shucking and jiving that we have to get you in that booth to vote Democrat. Those days are over. In 2016 and 2020, you guys have the number to bully MAGA off their square with cheating. Now, you've awakened MAGA. MAGA is growing stronger. That's the crazy thing. MAGA is growing bigger. In 2024, 28% of Republicans identified as MAGA. Now it's 31%. It's growing. People like what's going on. Let's go. Trump daddy is responsible for the biggest blunder in U.S. history. We're losing $1 billion plus per day. What a disaster regime. We're not losing anything. Trump is responsible for the biggest blunder. We now control Iranian oil routes. We now control Iranian oil. We now control Venezuelan oil. Fidel Castro brother just stepped down in Cuba. We about to be controlling that. What the hell are you talking about? What the hell are you talking about? Venezuela has the most oil on the planet. More than Saudi Arabia, more than Iran. We control their oil now. But this is what the black mind has to do. Black people are very intelligent. When we were Republicans during the age of Reconstruction, during the Harlem Renaissance, black people were inventing things. Black people were writing books, writing poetry. We were like at the top of the food chain when it came to the arts and creativity. Ever since we've been on this Democrat bus, we just dumb. This guy said we're losing $1 billion a day. Do you understand what the deals in Venezuela are going to bring in for the United States of America? Do you understand how much money you're going to make when Iran finally bends the knee and America says, hey, you got to give us some reparations for all that money that we spent whooping your ass? America never leaves poor. America left richer when they left Afghanistan richer than they were when they went in. You don't understand how it works. Do you agree that Trump is a puppet of Israel? Not really. I don't agree with that. I believe that Israel and the United States have a mutual interest in beating up on Iran. I think Trump has his eyes on every economic opportunity that exists in the world. Because I know BB, he's a warmonger. If he had control over America, he would be doing way worse than Trump's doing. My question to you, which is rooted in common sense, a lot of black people don't have this. If Israel controlled Iran, why are they in Israel getting bombed out and we're over here in relative safety? If Israel controlled America, wouldn't at least they say, hey, well, let us send our women and children to America? They wouldn't even have to ask. They'll say, hey, Trump, we're going to send all these women and children to America so we don't got to worry about them while we out here fighting. You think their women and children are in bomb shelters because they got the strings to America and they can open up America's borders anytime they want? You've sacrificed your critical thinking ability to just go along with the crowd. I have a friend just like you. Just like you. Oh, no, Israel. And it's just like, dude, chill the fuck out. Israel is a country with a population of like 11 million people. What I believe is Israel is the United States watchdog in the Middle East. And I believe the United States gives Israel a lot of money to report back to us and give us intel from over there and to kind of put down shit that we don't want to be bothered with. But a lot of black people can't accept that because that goes directly in contradiction to what the Democrat Party told them that they have to think, right? But if you just get on this internet but what you got to understand, and one of the ways, if you're living in delusion, right? One of the things you can do to really help yourself, right, is just look at what the Democrat politicians say when they're put on the spot. That's really all you need to do. Because if you look at what they say when they're put on the spot and what they're saying doesn't match with what they've been telling you, well, then there you know the truth. You know that they've been lying to you. Democrats are like, Trump is horrible for going into Iran, this and that. And then they're asked, well, would you have went into Iran? And they're like, well, yeah. But the way Trump did it, we didn't like it. So you would have done exactly what Trump did, but you would have done it a different way. So why are you telling your people that Trump going into Iran was illegal and he shouldn't have done that and all this stuff? It's ridiculous. It's stupid. They look stupid, and they make the people following them look even dumber. 100% Black Patriot. Israel does not control the U.S. Both nations share common interests and adversaries. I agree 100%. I agree 100%. If BB had the capabilities of the United States, Iran would be wiped off the face of the earth. I promise you. I want you to watch this. This is on the Rubin Report. But this was a very good little tidbit where Bill Maher actually got at a Democrat politician who was all up on his Trump is bad crap. Oh, Trump this and Trump. Everyone knows what Trump should have done or shouldn't have done. But then when you ask them what they would have done, it ends up being just exactly what Trump did. Let's play this.
You think you could, if you did run for president, you could fight this and convince the Democratic Party that being Jewish isn't like the worst thing a person could be now?
On Friday night's Real Time with Bill Maher, it is Monday, so we'll do a little Mondays with Maher. He had Josh Shapiro on, and, you know, I've said about Josh Shapiro many times.
You know, Josh Shapiro is the governor of Pennsylvania, and he's Jewish. And so Bill Maher is also Jewish. And Bill Maher is trying to figure out, how are you Jewish, but you're a part of a party that is ever growing more and more anti-Semitic, yet you have political aspirations.
You're a Democrat running possibly for the nomination.
For re-election as governor of Pennsylvania.
And you're Jewish.
Yeah.
And this is somehow maybe a complete deal breaker in the Democratic Party. I mean, the speed at which anti-Semitism has gone to a place where I never imagined it would go.
Yeah.
I mean, just this past week, bombings at synagogues in Toronto, Belgium, Michigan, the guy drove a truck with explosive into the largest synagogue in West Bloomfield. Norway, they arrested someone, suspicious behavior outside a synagogue. Rotterdam, in the Netherlands, synagogue. I see a pattern here.
Yeah.
And somehow it got to, among the young people, anti-Semitism got to be kind of cool.
Yeah.
You think you could, if you did run for president, you could fight this and convince the Democratic Party that being Jewish isn't like the worst thing a person could be now?
So let me address both pieces, the anti-Semitism and the sort of the politics of being Jewish, as you ask. When I ran for governor, the first ad that I put on TV was something to sort of show who I am, what motivates me to serve, which is family and faith. And the first ad was my family and I doing what we do nearly every Friday night, which was sitting around the Sabbath dinner table, having a meal together. We ran that ad despite a whole bunch of political consultants saying, hey, don't run that, they're gonna know you're Jewish. I'm like, I think they know I'm Jewish. But Bill, I share that with you because—
Yeah, but here's the point that people are gonna miss. Why are political consultants telling a Democrat candidate for the governorship of Pennsylvania, don't run an ad letting people know that you're Jewish? See, that's the part that's gonna go over your head like a kufi, right? Why would the people who know voting habits, know what's going through voters' minds, why are they saying you can't let these people know you're Jewish because they're anti-Semitic? That's wild to me. That's wild to me. The same people who are like fascist, and they're calling everyone fascist. But from what I remember, fascists are the ones who hate Jews. But everything they accuse you of being, that is what they are. I have no problem with Jewish people. I'm getting ripped a new asshole on Facebook because I'm like, I just don't see any reason to hate Jewish people. I mean, Jewish folks ain't never did nothing to me. And I'm talking about black folks all over me. I'm like, bro, what did Jewish people do to y'all? We's black. What the hell did Jewish people do to you? You didn't mind the Jewish people when Martin Luther King was walking arm in arm with him for civil rights. I enjoy a good latke every now and then. It's pretty damn delicious. I love going over to Langer's Delicatessen and getting me a Reuben sandwich with the corned beef and the coleslaw. I don't have an issue with Jewish people. And you don't have an issue with them either, other than you being told that you have to dislike them. But why does this guy's political advisors have to tell him, running for governor, don't let people know you're Jewish? Why? Because they know anti-Semitism is being spread and bred in the Democrat Party. The group who is calling Republicans fascist are just as anti-Semitic as Hitler himself in 2026. Now make that make sense. And you wonder why people vote for Trump. Democrats, especially black Democrats, they don't know if they're coming or going. They don't know their ass from their elbow. They're all over the place trying to cancel everybody.
Because after we ran that, I'd show up in North Philly and folks would tell me about their iftar after Ramadan. They were excited to share that with me. I'd show up in rural communities where I might increase the Jewish population by 100% when I get there, and they tell me about what lunch is like after church on Sundays. The point I'm making is that I believe people are good and they are decent and they want to know who you are at a deep level, and when you are open with them, they're more apt to be open with you. I won that election, got more votes than anybody in the history of Pennsylvania running for governor, because I'm proud of who I am. I'm proud of what motivates me to serve, and I'm proud of my faith.
All right, so let me point out again.
And I'm okay with him winning. I don't really care. As long as what you're trying to do matches what I want you to do, I'm okay with you. But I think it's very sad that we live in a world where political advisors have to tell people that they can't tell people what their religion is, or that's going to make people not vote for them. We have freedom of religion in this country. I don't think anyone should allow anyone to strip this country of one of the most beautiful aspects of it, which is the freedom of religion. Here we go. We got the anti-Semitic Muriel Jabbar. Just shut the F up. She's mad. She's mad because we don't want to hate Jewish people. But this is to be, I know she's a Democrat. I know she probably has a bunch of cats somewhere. I know that coochie ain't been touched in a coon's age. So she's mad. She's angry. She's angry. I got fired from my job because my boss doesn't like women. No, Muriel, you got fired from your job because you're a lazy asshole and you don't ever show up to work on time. That's why. I don't have to hate Israeli people and Jews because you want me to. I'm my own man. I do what I want to do. That's what MAGA represents. That's what MAGA represents. Do what you want to do. Freedom. And our president is going to go put belt to ass when belt needs to be put to ass. And I don't care if nobody watches this stream. I'm still going to be on my square. Point blank, period. I work every day. Probably just got paid right now. Screw all that. That's ridiculousness. They mad at you because you don't want to be anti-Semitic. The hell? And even not being anti-Semitic, I can still criticize the Jewish community or the Israeli community if they do something wrong. But if they ain't doing nothing wrong, I ain't going to criticize them. At this point, Israel is the best ally the United States got, after all those other haters refused to come and do what they were supposed to do with NATO. And I can't wait till Trump pulls us out of freaking NATO. Tired of that shit. Our hard-earned American tax dollars going to help these no-good British bums. And then when we need them with their two broke-down aircraft carriers, they want to act like they don't want to come. We should go whoop their ass after Iran. See, but the Democrats are used to getting hoed and used. So when you don't want to get used, they got a problem with you. What you mean you don't want to get used by the rest of the world? The rest of the world thinks that. I don't give a damn what the rest of the world thinks. Everybody got something to say about somebody getting money. If they ain't hating on you, you ain't doing it right. Straight up. Straight up. And they don't even support the people. The most wildest shit that they promote, they don't even support the people who do that crazy stuff.
Isn't over.
You got this girl, Kat Abu Ghazelele, right? She was trying to run for Congress. And she's out here fighting with ICE and just going crazy, right? She's doing everything she thought her woke compadres wanted her to do so that they could support her, right? Bro, she did all that, got whooped up by ICE, caught a case, homie. Caught a case. And they still didn't vote for her. They still didn't vote for her because that's the Democrat Party. They just want you out there to be the sucker saying all the radical crazy shit. So when you take the punishment, they could just keep doing business as usual once you out the way. Ask all the black Democrats. Ask Jasmine Crockett. Ask Nina Turner. Ask Jamal Bowman. They got used. They did what black folks do best in America, what black Democrats do best. They got used by the Democrat Party, and it ended their career.
Everyone deserves health care.
Even illegals?
Every single person in the world deserves
Just for the
health
record,
care.
as a candidate, you're for illegal aliens getting Medicaid.
I think everyone in the world deserves
That's a
health
yes.
care.
That's a yes.
I'm such a
That's a Democratic
I mean,
position.
it is a yes, but
Yeah.
It's a Democratic
Everyone in the
position.
world
Illegal
deserves
aliens should
healthcare.
get Medicaid.
But I mean, I mean,
How is this controversial?
but
How is it controversial?
How is it controversial to think I don't want someone to die in the hospital because they can't afford
Who do you
it?
think pays for health care when undocumented people show up at a hospital? Who pays for that?
We all pay for it.
Exactly.
including
I mean, we all
undocumented
pay
people
for
because
it.
they actually contribute.
That's the point. That's the point.
We do realize that
I just wanna
undocumented
remind-
Who pays for the welfare system in this country generally? Taxpayers.
and perhaps-
Are you for it or not?
Can I start my logic train?
Are
with
you for it?
And it's all blacks. Notice, it's one white liberal woman and her band of Negroes behind her talking stupid, but gonna be crying the minute they get replaced by a Hispanic person for that job right there. Because eventually they're going to say, well, we just need to start hiring illegal immigrants to be on the news because, hey, the news is about them. The news is about them. We might as well give them your spot and let them discuss the news. These are what you call gatekeepers. These are people who set you up for their own benefit. And then when they get replaced, they're boo-hoo crying, whining and crying. Let me start my logic train. Bacardi Sellers, you have no logic. Let's be real. You're lucky to have that job, as is Abby Phillips. And you both will eventually be fired and you'll be on podcasts.
My logic train starts with the fact that I don't want to kick 11 million people off
Do you
of
want
Medicaid.
the illegal aliens on or not?
Do I want first of all, do I want undocumented citizens to have
say
health care?
yes.
The answer is yes.
Abolish and prosecute ICE. We need to repeal the Patriot Act. We need to lift refugee caps. And we need to offer complete amnesty and citizenship to any immigrant here who has not committed a violent crime.
Do y'all hear this, lady? We need to lift refugee cap. Just let the whole world in. At what point do you shut it down? Okay, we can't let no more in. They don't care. She's a trust fund kid. She's rich. She's good. When shit get too crazy, she just say, you know what? I'm going to go in my house behind the gated, in the gated community. Or we're going to go out to our mansion in Panama. Somebody said, if you a slave, don't worry about illegals. You're a slave. I don't even understand that. But I'm not a slave. I don't know. I don't work for free.
Additionally, we need trials. There is no moving forward without justice. Stern words for Greg Bovino aren't enough. Body cameras aren't enough. We need people willing to put everything on the line, not when it's politically convenient, and not have their...
Boy. So, as you can see right here, she said everything you're supposed to say, right? She said everything you're supposed to say. She literally was like, we need to just let illegal immigrants come in this country as much as they want to and don't do nothing. And we need to let them take over. And we, that's basically what she was saying. But she lost. She lost. She lost by 4,000 votes. And this is just in the Democrat primary. So she lost. With another woman running, Laura Fine. She ain't fine though, she kind of ugly. You lost. You did all that to lose. She's a goofy. Straight up and down. No two ways about it. I'm not even going to try to pronounce her name. But she's straight up goofy. A boogie boogie boo. That's what I'm going to say about her name. Her name is a boogie boogie boo. But these are people, I'm trying to tell you, these are people who don't care about America. All they're thinking is, man, that'd be a nice ass paycheck if I get in Congress. I could get up there and support AOC and be up there living the good life. They don't mind destroying America. They're like, let's destroy it as much as we can because we're getting rich. I bet she doesn't even have any kids. I do. I need to leave an America that they can live in. She even got her ass kicked by ICE.
But it is.
I know her whole asshole was hurting after that. I know her whole asshole was hurting after that. She tried to get up like it didn't hurt. That shit hurted. I'm a grown ass man, dog. And I know that would have hurt me. And she ain't even got no cheeks for a cushion. I know that shit hurt.
It's surreal to be the person on the indictment, especially because my name is really long.
What do you think about those charges, though? They seem really serious. Conspiracy to impede or injure an ICE officer.
She helped feed thousands of men through her campaign because they couldn't find food. There's not a person in America who can't find food, bro. I promise you that. What she did was she did a bunch of optics for her campaign to make you think she give a shit about you. Just think, I'm telling you, just think. If you didn't have any money and you didn't have any food, what would you do to get food? Anybody will buy you food, bro. Anyone will buy you food. I can go on this phone and blindly press someone's name and I'm like, hey, can you give me some food? They'll give you some. Even people you don't like. I live in California. It'd be like homeless people standing in front of grocery stores. They begging for money. But if you're like, I can't give you any money. They'll be like, well, can you at least give me some food? And by the time you come out the store and give them whatever, dude, it's like they got 2 full bags of groceries. So when you're telling me a politician is like, I'm giving food, that's bull crap. That's nothing.
Sir, assaulting or impeding that officer, those are pretty big charges.
The charges, I think they're actually slightly different, but no matter what the charges are in the indictment, I plan on pleading not guilty. And this is a political prosecution, plain.
Oh, so they understand it's a political prosecution when it's them, but when it's Trump, no one is above the law, right? When it's Trump, no one is above the laws.
And simple, it's an effort to criminalize free speech, an effort to criminalize free association, and an effort to criminalize.
I love this. More than anything your useless ass has ever done. I worked on Skid Row for 2.5 years, placing homeless people in shelters. You don't know me. You don't know me. And I was down there every day, not even getting paid. A lot of it was because I like this girl, but it doesn't matter. I was there. I was doing it. You don't know me. I go to Skid Row. One of my favorite restaurants is on Skid Row. Well, it's right near Skid Row. I pay a homeless person $5 to make sure nobody touch my car. Hey, bro, I got you. I got you some money when I come out. Just don't let nobody touch my car. I got you, big bro. Stop it. I roam through Skid Row, bro. Stop it. I got videos on here where I jumped out the car in the middle of Skid Row and just started walking and recording, talking to my folks. It's not more than what I've ever done. She did something because she thought it was going to lead to her getting elected. Wasn't even done out of the kindness of her heart.
Act of protest. And so we're going to be pleading not guilty, and the evidence will come out in court, and I fully plan on winning.
Yeah, just to be clear, the indictment alleges that you and others, quote, surrounded a federal officer's vehicle, banged on its hood and windows, etched pig on the side, and impeded movement. Did you etch the word pig on the side of an officer's car?
I'm not speaking to the specifics of anything that's in the indictment.
Yes, she did. Yes, she did. But these are the people Democrats put in power, and then they're shocked when the people's true colors come out. I didn't know she was evil. Well, look at what she was doing. You need law enforcement to keep you safe. She's attacking law enforcement. You think she's worried about you being safe? You think she's worried about law and order? She couldn't care less. Soon as she gets in power, she's going to throw law and order out the window, and the criminals will be running wherever her district.
Right now. But like I said, I do plan on pleading not guilty, and the evidence will come out in court. And I plan on winning.
Okay. Well, let's watch the video of what happened that day that they are elected.
Up with liberation! Up with liberation! Down, down with deportation! Down, down with deportation! Up with liberation!
But when you see that, what do you think right now?
Tara,
she thinks she's going to jail.
Once again, this is my first time being federally indicted. Like I said, I plan on pleading not guilty. The evidence will come out in court.
It's only my first
I plan on
time.
winning. Thank you so much for having me.
Yeah. Just really quickly, I did want to ask you.
Now, this girl signed off. This shows you that these people are stupid. Both Tara Palmieri and this idiot Kate Abugabu. This chick said, "Thank you for having me," and signed off. Tara's still looking at the screen like a moron, not even realizing that the girl left.
About just the fact that conspiracy to impede an officer is up to 6 years in prison, forcibly impeding and intimidating an officer is up to 8 years.
She doesn't realize the lady left.
Is that that could actually hinder your ability to serve in Congress? Are you concerned about that?
And these are the people y'all letting tell y'all who to vote for.
Did she just sign off?
Yes, she did, dummy. You can't tell because she's just no longer two
Did
screens.
she just leave the chat?
Yes.
I'm so confused. I'm sorry. I don't know what just happened.
We know. She left. She doesn't want to answer your questions.
Well,
bro, I promise you, if you let people like this tell you to vote for, you deserve every bad thing that happens to you. These people are idiots, straight up. Did she leave the chat? You couldn't tell when it went from 2 screens to 1? And she said, "Thank you, have a nice day." But this is who y'all think know what's best for y'all. It's ignorant. Straight up ignorant. All right, guys, so we got a goal that we're trying to hit. We're trying to get 5 contributions of $5 or more in the super chat. If we do get that, because we're getting towards the end, I'm going to talk about this drama with a rapper named La Russell. People are all over him because he basically was making a correlation about between being heaven sent and everybody that the world is telling us that we have to hate. We live in a world where every day you wake up, you have an army of people telling you that you have to hate someone. You don't have to hate anybody. I don't care if it's even Jeffrey Epstein. You don't have to hate Jeffrey Epstein. He's dead. He's dead. I don't got time to be hating anybody. I don't like what Jeffrey Epstein did, but I ain't got to wake up with anger in my heart towards Jeffrey Epstein. I don't know that dude, and he's dead. I don't got to hate Donald Trump. I don't have to hate anybody. If you want to walk around hating people, go ahead, that's you. But why in this world, increasingly, we're being people are trying to force you to build up hatred in your heart, like it's going to make you live longer. So La Russell addressed that with a very cool song. And now Black Americans are attempting to cancel him. If we hit $5 super chats, we will address that drama. Kinsey, my brother, hey, I'm glad to have you back, man. Even though you're a little bit annoying, it's good to have you back, bro. So make sure you subscribe. I like reacting to y'all in the comments. Sorry, guys, I took myself out the room. That's my bad. What's good, bro? What's good, little bro? I see you. That's one thing about me. Me and Sakinti was getting into it last time, but I don't have hatred. I love all you guys, man, because you guys are paying attention to the things that matter. You know what I'm saying? I grew up in a world where people didn't care about things that mattered. All they cared about is stupid stuff, drugs and trying to chase women and who got the nicest car. So when I get on the internet and I get around people who care about what's going on with the world, I be like, man, look, that's good. I can't be mad at him. He has a different opinion than me, but at least he's focusing on the things that matter. You know what I'm saying? That's what it's about for me. Are you focused on the things that matter? Huggies. Look at you. Ms. Berry trying to soften me up. That's my girl right there. But yeah, so we didn't whoop feet on Kate. I boogie boo. You know what I'm saying? But that Russell joint is heavy. If we don't discuss it today, then I'll just make a video about it, most likely tomorrow. Just giving y'all a little, a little heads up, a little hen. Damn, you know what? Y'all know Magic Johnson's son, the little fruity one, EJ Johnson. Bro had a lot to say about like black women. It was kind of ridiculous. I got to post that video too. I got a bunch of videos made, but JD Vance just shut somebody down to major applause. I don't know why they keep trying to play with JD, man. Why they keep trying to, he come from them hills. He's a hillbilly. Why they keep trying to play with my boy JD? He might not get the nomination of his own party because Marco Rubio is that guy. But why they want to try to play with JD, man? JD, I will always have respect for JD Vance because he was a straight Trump hater. But he was man enough to admit, yo, I was wrong. I'm a Crip and a Blood. I'm a Crip bleed. I'm just me, man. I'm just me.
President Trump is urging Congress to pass the Save America Act, one of the most critical pieces of legislation in our nation's history. The Save America Act is overwhelmingly popular with all Americans because each provision is rooted in common sense. The Save America Act has 5 simple requirements as requested by the President of the United States.
I don't see why this hasn't passed already.
Voters have to show ID to cast a ballot in an American election. Very simple. 90% of Americans, including more than 80% of Democrat voters, agree with this. Number 2, the Save America Act will require all voters to show proof of citizenship in order to register to vote in American elections. Again, this is popular and rooted in common sense. Only American citizens have the right to vote in American elections. But after Joe Biden and the Democrats allowed tens of millions of illegal aliens into our country, it's more important than ever to ensure that only American citizens are registering to vote on our nation's voter rolls, and Congress needs to pass this. Number 3, the Save America Act abolishes the incredibly unsecure practice of universal mail-in ballots, which throw the door wide open for fraud. Importantly, the Save America Act maintains exceptions for Americans to use mail-in ballots like for illness, disability, military, or travel reasons.
The Senate is now officially debating the Save America.
I really don't understand why any politician in America has an issue with the Save America Act. What they're saying is, illegal immigrants aren't voting. Well, if they're not voting, you should have no problem with people proving their citizenship to vote. And now, you guys may not know about this, but we are finding many, many cases of illegal voting taking place. There probably ain't much going to be done about it, but we're finding out that in places like Michigan, Georgia, there was serious vote tampering going on.
America Act after clearing a key test vote about 15 minutes ago with a simple majority. Now senators can introduce amendments. The bill itself would require proof of U.S. citizenship to register to vote, a real ID, passport, or other government documents, plus a photo ID to cast a ballot. It's pretty popular. A Fox poll shows a majority of Americans support voter ID. But the problem is passing it takes 60 votes. to break a filibuster. And Republicans don't have that. A talking filibuster has also been floated, but there aren't enough votes to go that route either. President Trump says it has to pass, saying, quote, this: "I will never, ever endorse anyone who votes against Save America."
Boy. So we got to talk about these. Hey, this dude Trump is taking a hard line stance on the Save America. I don't understand how any politician is even like considering not voting for that. Like literally, you know that you're in the pocket of illegals or somebody if you have a problem with people proving that they're American citizens to vote in America.
Detroit News newspaper here. There's a lot of concern and talk in Michigan right now ahead of this pivotal midterm election that the federal government might somehow intervene in the administration of the election here in this state. Do you have any promises that you would make that the federal government will not intervene in any way in this election, or what would you tell people in Michigan who are concerned about that?
Well, what do you mean by the federal government intervening in the election? That's the first I've ever heard of it, but maybe I don't understand the question.
I believe the president has talked about nationalizing elections in recent months himself. It's stated.
Well, if what you mean by intervening in the election is that we want everybody to have a voter ID before voting in this country, yes, we should be doing that, to be clear. I mean, if by what you mean is, Marco Rubio has like 5 jobs, is the president going to send Marco Rubio to Michigan to be a ballot counter as his 6th title? I don't think so. I haven't talked to the president or Marco about it. But look, there's a lot of scare tactics, and there's a lot of scary language floating around there. The president and I have been working very hard, and we actually got a good vote yesterday in the United States Senate on the Save America Act, which is a very simple piece of legislation that does a number of things. But one of the things it does is actually establish this very simple principle that if you're going to vote in a federal election, you ought to show identification before you do so. I think that's very much common sense.
I don't see why any politician would have an issue with that. And you have a lot of Democrats like, oh no, I had this dude. He was trying to argue with me. Well, they're not finding any proof of fraud in this country and all this stuff. They don't find any instances of illegals voting, right?
Actual ballots.
But the reality is they're finding all types of voter fraud throughout America. This one was cool because this brother was on point. This is in Michigan. They're not finding any voter fraud. That's what they want us to think. But here's the reality. They're finding tons of voter fraud.
These was absentee voters. We obtained a list of people that they had sent ballots to.
Tell them, Raekwon.
That the ballots returned but still voted. So that raised our suspicions. So what we did was we obtained this list, and what we found out is that it was no way people was voting absentee because they never sent ballots or applications to the overseas address for them to return it. They actually listed that they sent the actual ballots to the Detroit addresses versus the overseas address, but a ballot was still cast and they not. It's no way they cast a ballot for a person in Germany when they sent the ballot to the west side on 7 Mile. There's no way that person voted from Germany. And it's right here, you can see.
Oh, so I like this. Democrats, we got a guy in the comments being willfully obtuse. I live here in Michigan, specifically upstate Michigan, and when I voted, I had to show my driver's license, CDL, to vote. So Michigan has voter ID law. What fraud are we talking about? We're talking about, if you keep paying attention, the fraud that they did with mail-in ballots. See, they got voter ID law, but they also got a workaround with these mail-in ballots where they're saying, oh, this person is in Germany. So we're going to send a mail-in ballot to Germany. It's never actually going to go to Germany. It's going to go right to their address or their last address. Then the ballot's going to come back, and they're going to fill it out for the Democrat politician. And then say, hey, they'll never know that the person didn't fill it out because that person's in Germany. That's what we're talking about, Abraham Soto. Exactly what this man is sitting here talking about.
Mary Elaine Beckman, she was voting out of a house that was full of immigrants. They couldn't even speak no English when we went to the house. No lie. They couldn't even talk to us in English. They was all living in this house. They didn't know no Mary Elaine Beckman. Now, we do understand that you do not have to live at that residence when you move overseas. The current residents do not have to know you. We understand all that. But the law also say that that must be your last address when you moved overseas. That wasn't her last address, and you must get the ballot sent to you overseas. There's no way you can vote when the ballot came to you in Detroit.
Wait. So we got to talk about a ballot measure out in Michigan.
So we got people getting voter ballots sent to old addresses, houses with illegal immigrants living in them. What prevents the illegal immigrant from saying, I'm gonna just fill this out and mail it in? What stops them from doing that? Nothing. Abraham Soto, nothing. And that's what the Democrat Party has been taking advantage of. To win in places, like when you look at Democrats and their policies, which they don't have any good ones, you wonder, like, where are the dumbass people supporting this stuff? Well, they don't exist. They did. Because that's what it takes to support horrible Democrat policies.
The fact that there are, in fact, some errors that happen in the system. Every system has errors, and it doesn't mean that there are not safeguards in place. There are safeguards, and you as a clerk, having done many registrations previously, understand that there's a process that you go through. And you can ask NASA. There's no process that doesn't have some error inherent in the system.
Okay, thank you. And you're very right. When I was the clerk, there were lots of errors in the system. That's largely why I am here. I took off a dead voter in my township. And guess what? That dead voter was put back on. Not by me. That was done by the Secretary of State's office.
Right.
So we need to do a lot of fixing here in our elections. When I was a clerk at Martin Township, there was a family member who at one point was registered at my in-laws' home. And that family member had died nearly 20 years prior. They were put on the rolls at 2020. They were mailed voter application ballots without the authorization to do that. That's the local clerk's job. So I went in there, removed her from the voting rolls because I know firsthand this family member is dead and deceased. Just this past election cycle, lo and behold, that person was put back on the voter rolls and has a card of the early voting location polling that I actually have and can produce. And that's a problem.
Can vote. Political reporter Remington Hernandez has more on the measure and why critics say it could actually make it harder for you to vote.
Americans for Citizen Voting says they handed in more than 750,000 signatures from all 83 counties using more than 17,000 volunteers.
The Americans for Citizen Voting ballot campaign says the signatures represent an overwhelming bipartisan show of support for election integrity.
We saw in 2024 that non-citizens did vote in Michigan's election, and yet nothing has been done to reform that system to make certain that it doesn't happen again. Well, this ballot measure will make certain that it doesn't happen again.
The initiative would require photo ID to cast a ballot and implement a systematic review of Michigan's qualified voter file. It's already illegal for non-citizens to vote, and Michigan requires ID at the ballot box. But the campaign says that's not enough.
If they don't have ID under current constitutional provisions, they simply sign a piece of paper and their ballot goes into the stack and is counted. And we think it's important that people show ID and not have an easy loophole.
The Michigan Secretary.
Yeah, I hope that answers Abraham Soto's question. If you don't have your ID, you sign a promissory note. Oh, I swear I'm a citizen, and then you just go on ahead and vote. Go ahead, Ms. Berry. What's going on with you? How you doing? Ms. Berry, you there? Ms. Berry going once. Ms. Berry going twice. Yeah, she's not there. Let's keep going. These people are criminals. They're crooks. They're crooks.
Cast.
Michiganders are good people and we are smart people.
What we don't want to see is a bunch of extra red tape, paperwork, and bureaucracy slowing down our elections. We know our system, we know our clerks, and we know that our elections are safe.
Voting advocates say the ballot measure seeks to disenfranchise voters and point to support from out of.
And my thing is like, why do they always try to use black people as like the spokesperson to have their own vote annihilated? I live in California. They don't ask you for anything. Anybody, as long as they got an address, you can just walk in and vote. You don't got to show anything. But they'll swear to you, oh yeah, our elections are secure. They're not secure. They're not secure. We know our voters and our elections are secure. You don't even know half of those voters, not even a quarter.
State billionaires.
What we're seeing with this petition is part of a wider national power grab by selfish politicians, wealthy elites, and those who are trying to take political power away from the voters, away from the people.
But Americans for citizens.
So requiring you to show proof of citizenship to vote is taking power away from the citizen. I would think that would empower the citizen even more. Because if you come to California, they dropping off truckloads of people that don't look American in front of polling stations. And because we live in a place where most of these people are Democrats, you can't expect these people to have integrity. The Democrat Party is teaching people and training people to feel like, you know what, cheating and lying is okay because Trump is evil.
They are teaching them to disobey our laws. Right. They keep screaming about how they have rights and all this kind of stuff. They're not even supposed to be here. You don't have the right to vote in our election, especially. That's all I wanted to say.
They got you with that Deborah Cox. How did you get here? They need to play that. Exactly. Nobody's supposed to be here. I'm gonna go to the polling station and put that on the boombox. I've tried that.
Seriously.
For
real. Why is this thing saying I'm uploading recordings? I'm not uploading nothing.
Nah, you got a private recording, a local recording. Go ahead, RF, my brother in the building. I'm on the wrong side of history. Okay, yeah. No, they're on the wrong side of the border. Go ahead, RF. You in the building? Unmute yourself. RF, unmute yourself. Ms. Berry, that's just the
can you hear me?
with the local recording. Yeah, go ahead, brother. Loud.
Hey, can you hear me?
Yes, loud and clear. Oh, he's having audio issues. But now you attacking me, Brandon. Why am I on the wrong side just because I want to live in a country where people can't just walk across the border whenever they feel like it?
Exactly. Why am I in the wrong for wanting to secure what's mine? Like, I don't understand that. I do not understand that.
But I can't just go to Mexico and get a job. I can't just go to Honduras, walk across the border and get a job. I'll be in jail. Like, why we gotta be the punks to get punked? Makes no sense.
You can't get a job. You can't start a business. You can barely buy property in these other countries without a lot of different pieces of red tape. You know what I'm saying? Like, come on now.
And I have property in other countries, and you constantly have to jump through hoops on that shit. Well, go ahead, RF.
Yeah. Hey, Brandon, did you see that story where here in California, where there's that big scandal with a guy, I think it was in San Francisco, where they were collecting signatures for ballot measures, and everybody, it was a bunch of homeless people, and they was paying them $5.
James O'Keefe.
$5.
Yeah, that was crazy, right? Paying them for their vote.
Right, paying them. They didn't even know these people were registered voters. They didn't know. They were telling the people what name to put down and what name to put down on the thing to sign up for on a ballot measure. Now that was crazy. Now the Democrats, they are really losing
giving them
their
money
minds.
for drugs. That's the crazy part.
Yeah.
They have no respect for the laws of this country. And they're trying to train people they're trying to pay people. They're trying to train people to have no respect for the laws. I don't know what type of America these people. I don't know what kind of America these people want to build, but I know that America that's overrun with anarchy is not going to benefit anybody.
Right. Well, I think it should be illegal to collect signatures on ballots to pay for it.
That's ridiculous. That's ridiculous. And the people don't even know.
Right.
The people don't even know what they're supporting. They're just like, I'm getting I'm just
$5. Yeah.
Crazy.
Yeah.
That's pathetic.
But that's how they got that redistricting. That's how they got that redistricting thing done here in California, where Newsom got the thing to redistrict. We know he had to get so many signatures on the ballot, and then he got the, I guess pick up some extra Democratic seats here. That's why he got that done.
Yeah, it's disgusting. And what I really don't like is they're always using black people as like the scapegoat. Like they know they exploit our ignorance so bad. And it's like, instead of being like informing ourselves, we just keep going along with it. And then we're crying when the hammer is dropped. Let me play this real quick. This is what we talking about, y'all.
For sign a petition. Shut up! Don't say nothing more. Get $25 to sign a petition. You get $25? $5. Okay.
So the guy who shot this says hundreds signed these petitions. No one reportedly asked for an ID, nor were they told what they were signing.
I get $5 too?
Yeah.
And what is it?
Just sign it.
Just sign it?
Yeah. You ready, ma'am? First name is going to be Carol. Last name.
Yeah, that was the name of an 81-year-old woman living elsewhere. So under California law, the state says it's illegal to give money or other consideration or exchange for initial petition. It's also a crime to circulate any petition known to include forged names. In this case, they wanted signatures for two upcoming measures, one fighting a billionaire tax, the other pension reform.
So why isn't she in jail? That's in my state. Why isn't she in jail? See, because what California understands is this: if you don't enforce the law, it doesn't matter. The law could be on the books, but if you refuse to enforce it, there's really nothing anyone could do. But that has to go against federal law too. And then on top of that, think about this: when you fill out those petitions, right? They make you give them your address, right? And if you aren't registered, and if you don't have like an accurate address, your signature doesn't count. So we're paying $5 to just get people to sign. What is that telling you? They're putting the addresses in after the fact. Am I wrong? You have to be putting the address in after the fact. Because
you saw the girl. She said, "Just sign it. Here's the name." She said, "You ready now?" She goes, she said, "Just here's the name. Just sign it, Carol something or whatever." She said, "Yeah."
Right. So they probably they're committing forgery. They got you signing somebody's name and you're not that person. That's crazy to me.
Right. A bunch of crackheads lined up on the street signing a petition.
Here in Michigan, just recently, there was a big luxury car bust that was worth over $400 million being sent overseas by illegal immigrants. I believe it. When I was in Kenya this last time, Marco Rubio was there. And he was there because the United States is investigating all those Somalis living in Nairobi. Those dudes were broke as hell trying to sell shawarma. And then you come back a year later and they building freaking 20-story apartment buildings from the ground up. And even a Somali lady was telling me, she was like, yeah, they stole a lot of money from America. And I'll tell on them, like, there are some good Somali people around the world. They'll tell because they don't want to ruin, the good thing for them. But these people steal, bro. They're like, I'm not saying Somali, but I'm saying in general, these people steal.
Pirates.
These people steal
millions of dollars went through that airport. Millions of dollars went through that airport in Minnesota, where they was taking all that money over to Kenya.
What the hell was TSA doing?
The Somalis were the workers. You go to the airport, half the workers are Somali.
Well, the thing is, I heard an investigator say that they could not prove that the money was drug money. That's what they're looking for to come through the airport. Like, it wasn't, they could not prove that it was it was illegal, even though it was a lot of money. They could not prove that it was like drug money, and that's really what they're looking for, right?
Well, but the country that you go into, Somalia, if you have so much money, you have to declare because they're in on it too. I mean, the Kenyan government.
But they
because
they were flying out of Minneapolis headed to Dubai. They were making stops. It was like from here to there to there to there. And at that time, supposedly, according to what is understood, they were paying taxes. So, all right, you left Minneapolis with 2 million, but you made it to Somalia with like 500,000.
Mm-hmm. Crazy. Go ahead, TSM. Your mic better not be messed up either.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Hey, how you doing, guys?
I'm okay. How you doing?
No. So the thing is, like, when I hear you guys, I think like Somali or immigrant, those like can be rich. Some people are here, the Somalian, they're real estate agents. They work for the army.
Nobody said that.
They're business owner, bro.
Nobody said that.
No, I know you didn't say that, but a lot of xenophobic thing. You know, people think like Somalians
Stop coming up here with all that phobic stuff. Stop talking phobic. We don't talk phobic.
Listen, man. If every time somebody points out a crime, listen. If every
we ain't talking phobic-ism, none of that.
If somebody,
we talking real.
If every time you call out an immigrant for crime, it turns into xenophobia, or they try to make that claim, that's just disingenuous, dude. I told you there was a Somali lady in Kenya who was telling me, yeah, these dudes are stealing. These dudes were broke. They didn't have any money. And then they came back and they're driving nice cars. They're building buildings, all this stuff. Bro, you don't go from selling shawarma on the side of the road to 3 months later, you building a big ass apartment building, bro.
No, that's right, bro.
If I've been looking at these dudes for 4 years selling shawarmas across the street from my apartment, and then all of a sudden they uncle come, he working at the spot, and now bro building a big ass modernized building. You're like, okay, bro, I know you didn't get all that money selling shawarma.
I get that, but the thing is, like, a lot of people say Michigan and Minnesota, but I'm telling you, those kind of places, nobody want to live over there. Not me, bro. It's so cold, it's so dirty. Only Somalian that's strong enough to live over there, bro.
Yeah, but what does that mean? How to do with stealing?
Americans live over there. Americans could live over there. Let the Somalians go back to where they came from.
They're moving to where it's easy to steal. They're being told by their family and relatives and friends, hey, if you come over here, we gotta hustle. We gotta.
No.
Yes, bro.
I don't think so. I don't think so. I think
if you're getting, wait a minute, if you're getting millions from a fake daycare, and your sister come from Somalia, you gonna be like, girl, just do what I did. Open up a fake daycare and you're gonna get 2-3 million a year, bro. You know that's what happens.
No, it's
even
not
Americans
that.
do that.
No, they're going over there
exactly
because the rent is a real estate is cheap. That's it. Because the rent is cheap.
You know what my problem is? Africans can
they
never
don't even pay rent. They get Section 8.
Self-reflect.
That's so.
But I'm sorry. Can I say something real quick?
Yeah, go ahead.
You know, even Ilhan Omar, she can't say, you know what? Let me go to my community and say, you know what? Well, there's a problem here. Let's, because 92% of the people who committed the fraud are Somalis. They won't even self-reflect on their own problems and say we got a problem with fraud. That's the problem. Like Africans and racist. Even the one who went into the Attorney General's office of the Minnesota Attorney General, he said, "Stop this investigation. We'll call it racism." And all this other kind of stuff and xenophobia. You guys got to stop that, man. You guys really got to stop that.
TSM said they're not committing fraud because it's cold.
No, I didn't say that. I said, of course, no. Some Somalians, some immigrants commit fraud. What I'm saying is like they went to Minnesota because like nobody want to pay like in Los Angeles like $2,000 or rent or stuff like that. So
they went to Minnesota because
no. They went to Minnesota because they had to settle in Minnesota.
Wait a minute, guys. They're out here. Wait a minute. They're out here stealing too, bro. Somalis are stealing in California.
But what I'm saying is like Africans don't like spend money. So that's why they go to those kind of states. And of course, after they got most of the people they commit, the fraud is like American Somalians. They even not the American Somalians. They born and raised out here.
Yeah, we talking about all Somalians, bro. We ain't talking about just Americans.
But you have to make the difference between American Somalians and people. No, because
but they're all still very tribalistic. They're all very tribalistic. There's no distinction between a Somali.
I get that.
TSM, you're from Nigeria. Wait a minute. TSM, you're from Nigeria, right?
Yeah, Senegal, yeah.
Okay, Senegal. Okay. If you talk to a Nigerian, the American Nigerians is just as ashy as the continental Nigerians, bro. It's just they're all the same people. They are nationalistically American, but they still engage with the continental Nigerians, and they all be in cahoots running game, bro. I got a bunch of Nigerian friends.
And they don't claim America.
They'll even put me on. They even ask me, "Hey, bro, we good?" Like, bro, I could be living in a high rise on the top floor right now if I did some shit with my homie. He's Nigerian. He's like, man, he don't even pay rent, bro. Stay in a place for 6-7 months and then just move to another place. He don't ever pay rent. He got cars. He got like 3 nice ass cars, bro. Didn't pay a penny for those cars. You know what I'm saying? So I know that it exists. I'm not saying every Somali. I'm not saying every Nigerian, but over there in Minnesota, that the roots was running deep in Minnesota with the fraud, bro.
Well, I think it's strange that he thinks just because some of them were born here in America, or that there's a difference between them and their parents. They're all very tribalistic. They still are part of that whole tribalistic cabal of stuff. The Quality Learning Center, the guy who was a spokesperson for it, he was born here. So I don't understand what's the difference between us.
And here's the thing too: if you want to get to the bottom of it, like D-Rang is saying, at the end of the day, white folks is the ones who's teaching them how to steal and everything else. Like even in Minnesota, the person over it is a white person. They're just putting them on and letting them be the fall guy. We're gonna teach you how to get money. When shit go down, you're gonna take the fall, but you still gonna end up rich.
I'm with you guys, I'm with you on that. But what I'm trying to say, like a lot of homegrown criminal. A lot of people, even their parents are Mexican, Somalian, Nigerian, whatever. When they're born or raised out here, they become criminal. I don't know why. Because
No. They came here as criminals. They were pirates before they got here.
There's a lot of
they were pirates before they got here.
There's a lot of criminals in Nigeria. Shut up, TSM. There ain't no criminals in Nigeria. Stop it, bro. This dude's just scamming the shit out of those old British ladies.
Every time I turn the TV, even the African countries trying to run the Nigerians out. Because Ghana, they don't want to Niger. Like, I mean, Senegal, so let's not even act like everyone's so innocent.
I got too much love for Nigerians, man. Some Nigerians saved your boy when I was in South Africa in Yeomanville. I got out at night, didn't know where the hell I was, trying to look for a Western Union. Those dudes, like 20 of those dudes walked me to a Western Union to get some money because I was dead broke. So I always and they made sure I got in a cab safely. And when I left that place and went to my friend's house, he was like, dude, you lucky to end up dead over there. All those dudes do is rob people and kill people. So I was like, they show love, man. So I'm always gonna have a special place in my heart for Nigerians, man. Because they could have just robbed my ass. They helped me. They could have just robbed me, bro. I didn't know where the fuck I was at. I heard
Yeomanville DNA, that's why.
I'm actually from Guinea-Bissau, but the thing is, with Nigeria, like when you're in South Africa, you hear Yeomanville. That don't sound tough. That sound like some soft ass white shit. I didn't know where I was. I thought I was going to some white area, man. That shit was the hood, bro.
No, I know, but I know, look, at the end of the day, Somalians have to check on themselves. Americans have to check on themselves. This year is going to be a big issue, man.
Yeah, that's what we need to be checking on as the Americans. We don't got time it's too much going on. There's too many people around. We need to stop this. It needs to just stop.
No.
And we need to.
We got to check on the Somalis too because they're taking our tax dollars.
Oh, that's what I'm talking about. We'll check on the Americans. That's what we need to be checking on. But right now, we got to handle what's going on. They're stealing from us. They have come here to pirate. And that's it. It ain't no xenozobic and xenophobic and allophobic. It ain't none of that.
No, but the big problem with that is that when Obama settled, Bush and they settled most of Somalis concentrated in one place. They did not disperse them. And so they formed this powerful voting bloc in one concentrated area. They should have been dispersed.
That was done by design, I believe. So, you know what I'm saying? How would you settle all those people at once in one area? That was done by design. And then Tampon Tim, he ain't no better. He about to go to jail. Tampon Tim is going to the feds.
I don't think they'll get him to jail.
One thing I'll say about Black Americans is we don't tend to go to other people's country to steal. The Black Americans that travel follow the law. Some of us might be ignorant as hell, but I don't know a single black American like, let's go to this country to steal and scam. We don't do that.
I know one.
We might do crime here. Who?
Because I was watching what's his name, Kaganda channel, and this one guy T3 and something talking about come over here, send your money to me, I'm going to invest it for you. It's safer over here than it is in he said it's safer here in Uganda, whatever hell he at, than it is in the United States. So I'm like, you got to be crazy, man.
He's in Tanzania.
Yeah, JT, the bigger figure, did
he
that.
Can't even get Tanzanian citizenship.
But
JT, the bigger figure, went out there in where he went. He went to somewhere.
He was in
Burkina Faso. He thought he was going to be a king. He thought he was going to be the king. Yo, they was not playing with him. So you go out there and act up if you want to. You come back with your head chopped off.
But here's the thing.
But see, the only difference is they scam other Americans. They don't really scam the Africans.
Say that. You took the words out of my mouth.
That's true. JT, the bigger figure, did get money to buy land and make your own plot and all this, and people went down. Well, I saw one girl go down there, and it was not what it was supposed to be.
Let me see. Genetics. I don't know if I'm at a KKK rally or an FBA. No wonder why you only have 14 people watching. There's more than 14 people watching. There's 45 people. Yesterday there was 600 people watching.
So what? He crying? I'm tired of these grown men with fucking tears in their eyes always crying about some shit.
But here's the thing. So this is not FBA or KKK. TSM got up here talking about, Somalis don't steal and all this shit. And we were just like, they do. Every group of blacks steal. That's the difference. FBA would be like, only they're stealing. Black Americans steal too. We just tend to steal from other black Americans.
Yeah, but we ain't coming up like that. We getting caught at the $700,000 mark. Right, we not getting them with billions. Like, we not doing it like that.
The difference is that America is very generous, and we have all these social safety net programs that Africa, you go over there, you're either going to work or you're going to starve. There ain't no going to the welfare office and getting food stamps and housing.
That's right.
You're not getting any of that stuff in Africa. None of that stuff.
The point I'm making with me is this, and I stand on this. Black Americans do not travel to other countries to steal and do theft. We don't, because any black American with a mindset for theft, they're not even gonna try to waste money on a passport. They're gonna stay here and steal. You don't see.
But you know why? It's because we got too much respect. They don't got no respect for us, but we go over there and be respectful for them.
Nah, it's because these niggas got a record. They can't get no damn passport. That's why. But
yeah.
If someone is doing crime to the point where they're serious with the scamming, by the time they get out of America, they're gonna have a record and won't be able to leave the country. The difference with places like Nigeria and all these other places, they don't have no real criminal record keeping system. So a dude could be a huge scammer and he'll be getting a passport like he never committed a crime. So that's the reality, bro. And also in Africa, because I own a lot of property in Africa, I own more land than an African in Africa. A lot of times you can just bribe your way out of anything. I'm telling you, you could chop a motherfucker in Africa, and as long as you got some good money, you get away with it.
All right, but do you think black Americans have a lot of respect for Africa? They revere Africa, and they would never go over there and do any crime to the Africans.
Some do, but not all. Some do.
No, I got a lot of respect. I actually like Africa. I mean, I had a good time. Every time I got, there's things they got going on over there, but I mean, for the most part, I do enjoy Africa. I didn't go nowhere to steal.
And when you go there, you respect it. Exactly. That's what I'm saying. They don't got no respect for the Americans.
D-Rank, shut your ass up. I just did a valuation on my property. That shit's in the millions right now. You a hater, D-Rank. I definitely got a portfolio. Hater. Look, I ain't gonna tell y'all niggas on the internet no more. After FBA came after my ass, I learned my lesson.
What's this FBA versus African? I don't even understand FBA versus African thing. I don't even,
A bunch of brokey losers just hating on anybody who they feel is doing better than them. That's the reality.
Everybody just trying to be down. It's stupid.
Right. I mean, FBA is a relatively new term, but I can say I don't even call myself African American. I just say Black American. I don't even use African.
I'm just a nigga.
Yeah, just Black American.
I'm an American Negro. Period.
Yes. I'm an African American, but I'm also a Black American.
What is an African? You ain't no African. You ain't from Africa. You got no connection to Africa at all.
You don't know what you're talking about. Ethnically, we are Africans. Nationalistically, we are Americans.
Yeah, but what is African? You from Morocco? Like Africa is a big place. Like what does that mean?
If you take a lion out of Africa and put him in a cage in Detroit, are his puppies going to be Americans? Or his cubs going to be American? No, they're going to be African lions. Genetically.
Whatever.
Brandon
Ever
is
since
right.
Jesse
Brandon
Jackson
is
came
right.
up with that term, y'all Negroes been
Jesse
using
Jackson,
that.
wait
I'm
a
so
minute.
sick of that.
Hold on real quick. First of all, and what's sad about you, RF, is you work at a school. This is bad. But
I don't work at no. I work at a school. I don't work at no school.
Well, we can tell. We can tell. God damn it. So Jesse Jackson did not invent the term African American. Martin Delaney, Powell, all them boys been saying that it's in black literature even in the 1800s, bro. Because if you think about it, when black people were given U.S. citizenship, they were Africans and they saw themselves as Africans. So that's where
RF.
Well, I'm an American.
Brandon is right.
It's such a silly term.
I know I'm right.
RF, you xenophobic, bro. You know Brandon is right, man. Come
He's
on,
not
bro.
xenophobic. He's playing.
I'm not xenophobic, but I know I'm not no African because
you are African.
Yeah.
No,
okay, you're
no.
Chinese then. You're Chinese.
Here's the difference.
Chinese.
Well, if I say I'm going to go visit my parents and grandparents and cousins, I'm going
with your fingers? Do you eat cornbread with your fingers?
If I say I'm going to go visit my parents, cousins, or whatever, they either the next state over or next city over. If he goes to visit his grandmother, he's going over to Africa. I'm not going to Africa to go visit none of my family. All of my family has been here since the 1500s. So I'm not no African.
Been here since no 1500 liar. You can't
1500s. I just traced. They've been here since since the 1500s.
What? Okay, where's
1592? South Carolina, one of the first.
1590. South Carolina didn't exist in 1592.
No, I'm saying they're from South Carolina.
How would you know that when South Carolina didn't even exist?
Well, you know, as it is named today, South Carolina.
Brandon, let me clarify something.
They still brought their ass from Africa. They still brought their ass from Africa.
Saying, like, if I don't want to be like people say Africans, the Africans don't even. If I call myself an African, the Africans would be like, what?
No, they wouldn't. No, they wouldn't.
You need to watch I Show Speed, bro. You lost.
Hey, no, look. If you let
watch
me tell
what?
You this. I Show Speed.
Oh, I saw him over there. I saw him over there in Morocco.
Yes, I enjoyed that. That was fun.
RF is trolling right now. You guys don't know that, but he's trolling us hard right now. And I ain't
Brandon, let me clarify something. What I was saying about I know some Somalian are stealing. I know they're not innocent. I know a lot of Somalians are stealing. I get that. But my point I was trying to make to say, when you become in America, a lot of immigrants and a lot of people, when you become American, I don't know.
Look at God breaking up his damn mic. We can't understand you. God is not letting your lies come through. Listen, all West Africans are guilty because you guys all sold slaves, okay? So it don't matter how much you try to absolve people of guilt. Y'all got some spun on y'all rep, and that's okay. You know what I'm saying? Some of us was selling some of us and got snatched up ourselves. The point I'm making is this. Ethnically, your ass is an African. If RF goes to Africa, if RF go to Kenya right now, they're not going to be like, oh, are you a black American? They're going to say, oh, are you a Nigerian? They're not going to say, oh, you're a black American.
I've been to Africa. I've been to
Kenya. They're going to know you American.
I've been to Tanzania.
No,
I've been to Uganda.
No, they won't. Listen, they will not, Miss Berry. I thought the same thing because the way we talk. No, if you go to Africa and go to East Africa, they're going to think you are a Nigerian. You're going to be like, where am I from? Where do you think I'm from? You know, Tupac, Biggie. They're going to be like, oh, you're Nigerian. I swear to God, it's the craziest shit ever. They think black Americans are Nigerians.
I don't know about that.
Bro, it's a... Bro,
well, I don't know about that either.
I don't think. I mean, it depends on how you dress and stuff like that. I guess a lot goes into it.
Listen, man, I've been to Africa more times. Listen, I've been to Africa more times than anybody. My friends went with me over there. Watch, I'm calling my homie who was just with me. I'm going to ask him right now, what is the number one thing they call us when we go over there? They do not be like, oh, you're an American. They don't even correlate it. I used to be like, oh, man, they're going to know because the way I'm dressing. I used to think they would know based on the way I'm talking. I used to think that they would know based on the way I'm talking. No, they think your ass is a Nigerian.
It's been my experience that they knew that they knew I was American. I can't even lie because I mean, and everywhere I went, they kind of. I mean, when I started talking, they knew I was American. I mean, I can't even. They did. They absolutely knew I was American.
I know not a single African was like, "Oh, you're a Black American," unless it was someone who's like at a resort or they're knowledgeable. But the average African is going to think you're a Nigerian. If you just walk around and ask people, "What do you think?"
Well, they say you're American. They don't say like Black American. You know.
No, they're gonna say you're Nigerian. I'm telling you, they're gonna be like, "You're Nigerian. Are you a Nigerian?"
I didn't get Nigerian
because that's what Nigerians and Black Americans look dead alike, and that's what they interact with the most. Nigerians,
yeah, but they don't talk.
Like
but the difference is like we kind of moved. We don't talk the same. We don't like have the same kind of like the same vibe. You know what I mean? It's very different. So I can't say when I went to Africa that somebody was saying it.
None of that matters, bro. You go to East Africa, they're going to think you are a Nigerian. Off first glance, talk to you. You could talk to them for an hour. They're going to be like, yo, this person's Nigerian. Unless they're very knowledgeable about Black Americans. Bro, I met Africans who never even knew who. I met Kenyans and shit who didn't even know who like Eddie Murphy was and shit. Like, Eddie Murphy, who the fuck is that? One of my friends, I played Harlem Nights for that fool. He was like, what is this? Like, he loved the movie, but he just never watched it. Like, you like, people think like Africans are very exposed to American culture. Not really, bro. A lot of them grew up in the village and stuff. But,
all right, well, Africa, be well.
Shut up, Miss Berry. No, I'm just kidding. I'm gonna call my friend.
I can't. No problem. I like Africa. I got no problem. I was in the mountains of Uganda. You gorilla trekking in Africa.
All right, let's see if she picks up. My friend is over there. Well, she's in Canada. People don't even answer. Why people don't answer the phone when I call them? You think people don't like me? I'm starting to think people don't like me. They don't like me.
What time is it where you call them at?
Yo. Oh, yeah, too bad. I don't know. I think she's in Canada, in London. But yeah, but
I got a question for you.
Go ahead.
Oh, no, go ahead. Sorry.
What's the question?
What do you think about this? They just had those hearings on birthright citizenship. What do you think about birthright citizenship? You think somebody, if they were born here, they just automatically get citizenship, or
no? Because birthright citizenship was something that was created for African Americans when slaves had kids, so they
Black Americans
or whatever.
I got my point of view as an immigrant on that, because look,
no one cares about your point of view.
But let me say something, because
look, you don't have a
say. Brenda, listen. Because myself, look, I'm born and raised in Europe, all right? So my parents moved from Africa to Europe in the 60s, all right? So they benefit from the birth citizenship from UK, all right?
Okay.
The thing is
UK has birthright citizenship?
Of course. France, UK, they have the same because they colonized West Africa. You remember that?
Look at them.
I don't think so.
Well, look.
I don't think so, but go ahead.
They colonized West Africa. What you talking about? That's why you guys, all those actors.
No, just because you colonize a place doesn't give you. No. Just because they colonize a place doesn't mean you get citizenship in their country.
Okay. All right, let me finish. So the thing is, like, with the birthright citizenship, is 50-50, because like they got some kids. They're born out here, okay? With one parent is American, another, and the dad is American, and the mom, she's a U.S. citizen. Oh, the dad is U.S. citizen, and the mom, she's immigrant, all right? If this kid is good at school, is talented, whatever he does, okay, he become like whatever, okay? The thing is that America is going to claim him. Right now, if the kids, they will. If the kids tomorrow...
But that's not the issue. As long as one of the parents is an American citizen, they are a citizen. If two illegals can't make a legal. Two illegals cannot make a citizen.
Listen, man. You ain't keeping your damn anchor babies over here, TSM. I know what you're trying to do.
Let me finish. Okay, so now, if the kids, both parents, they immigrant, okay? They illegally, okay? The kid is not American citizen. If Trump take away the birthright citizen, the kid is not going to be American citizen. We get that.
Right, send that
Now,
bastard
the
back.
thing is that right now is like, I believe Mexicans are really the community that took advantage of it.
And Nigerians.
Most
And the Chinese. They having their babies over here, and then they raising them over somewhere else, and then the kids is coming back.
Wait. Wait a minute. I got a Nigerian homie who a doctor, bro. This dude will literally bring a Nigerian chick here to America for medical purposes when she's like about to burst. So she can have her baby in America, and they can use that baby like an anchor baby to stay here.
Do you know who I believe is an anchor baby? Shabuzi.
I don't know who the fuck that is.
Shabuzi is a country singer. The country singer is an anchor
Nigerian.
Well, sit his ass back. Sit his ass back.
And let me tell you this. When Shabuzi won an Oscar, he thanked Nigeria. He didn't even thank America.
But look.
Nobody listen to this shit out here.
I can say a guy's like Shabuzi, okay? He's an anchor baby. He become what he become, okay? He pay taxes. He's one of the best singer because I'm telling you, the rap music is dying.
Here we go.
The rap music
I
is
never
dying.
even heard of him, so how he the best singer?
Let me finish. The rap music is dying. He's the one actually right now. He put the black people on the map.
You think we're going to listen to Afrobeat? You think we're going to listen to Afrobeat?
Come on, man. Come on.
You think we about to listen to Afrobeat? Come on.
Yeah, but I prefer listening Shabuzi than someone who does like some gangster rap and just say,
no.
keep this thing out.
And that's why the Essence Festival went down, because they had the Nigerian was ahead of the Essence. He brought all the Afrobeat nonsense at the Essence Festival, and they weren't here for it. Black Americans weren't here for that nonsense. We don't want to hear that bullshit.
I'm telling you, I prefer Shabuzi than fucking gang member from Long Beach or whatever. Just say,
you just trying to trigger me. You can't
Shabuzi.
You can't trigger me.
Okay, but let me bring it back. Two cats don't make a dog. So you can't have two people illegal having a baby, because I can't go to Africa and do that. America is one of the only countries where somebody can come here and just because you dump a baby here, they're gonna be citizens. That's just not even what it was. Only
you fucking lying. You know how many African Americans go back to?
It was only.
Do you know how many African Americans going back to Ghana and raise the kid in Ghana? There's the kid
Those kids are not citizens of Ghana. No. Just because you have a baby in Ghana. Listen,
what I'm trying to say, RF. What I'm trying to say, I understand your mindset. You have a point, but the thing is, like, sometimes you think like you're broke. You're not a broke man, bro.
But why do you think America has to do more than what your country? Why do we have to be? Why do we have to be the ones to take somebody who was born of two illegals?
Because America,
and they getting welfare. They getting Section 8. Americans is on the wait list.
Look. Because the thing you don't understand, that's the problem with a lot of Americans. They fucking weak in geopolitics. America put the military all over the world. That's why people feel like they have to come out here. If you go to Nigeria, Trump tried to send.
Please, the military is here too.
All over.
It's our military. What the heck?
Look. Even right now, like, okay, they killed the guy in Iran, right? They killed the guy in Iran. America go all over the world, beat up the fucking president, and put their own mindset over there. And that's why people want to come out here, because they say, hey,
and so now you deserve citizenship in America.
Please.
Now you deserve. You just entitled the citizenship here.
Wait a minute, guys. One mic. TSM, your ass is rambling. Here's the reality. It's about the intention of the law. The law is being abused because the whole birthright citizenship was something that was created for the slaves. Now, because the laws, the Constitution and all that was written at a time when it was just blacks and whites here, Mexicans and Africans and everybody else came and they took advantage of it. And that's cool. Y'all got some kids here. That's cool. But it needs to be repealed, because you can't create a situation where people are risking their lives just to try to drop their damn baby in America so they can use that baby as an anchor baby. It's creating a dangerous situation. Do you think I need you to say that? But anyway, it's created a dangerous situation with people trying to, come across South America and stuff and do that. It just needs to be repealed. people want to come in, they need to come the right way. And the people who birthright citizenship applies to, we don't even need it anymore because we're citizens. That's just the way it is. Even in Africa doesn't have birthright citizenship. You already know that, TSM. So why is it that Africa doesn't have to have it, but America got to have it? No, bro.
Right. If you overstay your visa about one day in Africa, they're going to come get you.
Right. And then they say F America and, they always complaining about the stuff that's going on over here, but they don't want to go home.
No, look.
I don't know about no Africans in America. They love
I think
Americans.
with all of you guys, I think
I'm just talking about in general.
We agree on something. I'm agree with you on one thing. I'm agree like if, for example, like you are here, you born out here, okay? You parent the immigrant. I believe it should be have something to make sure the parents are fully integrated in the American society. If they're not, you have to leave. I'm agreeing on that. For example, like I don't want to be.
Integration means you came here legally.
Yes, but
legally.
Some people come here legally, but they overstay. That's the same thing. They come here illegally.
And that's illegal to overstay.
The thing is what I'm trying to say.
If somebody came to your house and they broke in your shit and went through the back window, and then when you like, hey, get the fuck out of my house, they're like, can I stay here? You're not gonna be like, you know, man, yeah, you can stay here. You're gonna be like, no, you broke in my fucking house. You're a criminal. You gotta go.
Right. And if I let you in and you decide you're not leaving and I can't tell you to leave, that's a problem.
Yeah,
you're right. And let me say this real quick, Brandon. When President Trump was elected,
guys are smart.
When President Trump was elected,
go ahead, RF.
There was a lady literally waiting on on the other side of the border, holding her baby in because she was waiting for that CPB one out. Because Biden had that thing where they can just come over here. She was trying to hold her baby in until she got over here to dump that baby. But then Trump cut that CPB one app off, and she couldn't have her baby over here. She damn near had a heart attack because she couldn't get across and get her anchor baby. And it's not fair for American taxpayers
across the border.
They getting whipped.
Right. And so no other country has this. And then TSM says, TSM says, because you have bases all over the world, we deserve to just occupy your country. Look at the UK. It's a mess. The Muslims are running the UK in the ground. Those people are running the UK in the ground. We don't want that here. We don't want that here. We don't want what the UK is doing.
No.
Look what UK, all those boats showing up on the UK shores. That is insanity. We don't want that here.
All right. RF has he had the last word. Thank y'all. I gotta go. Thank y'all so much for coming up here. I appreciate all y'all. We'll be back tomorrow at 12. We have some crazy.
Go listen to Shabuzi.
I don't even know who the fuck that is, bro. I don't even know. I fuck with Burner Boy, Fali Pupa. I think Fali Pupa is from TSM's place. That's my boy. Tyler. Oh, she's a little cute.
Tyler.
Nah, my girl Tim's, right? Iris Star.
Yeah.
Nobody can do. Miss Berry be listening to that shit. She gonna act like she don't, but she do.
I actually like. I like I'm a piano. I don't like the Afro beats. So I just kind of played out. But anyway, all right. I ain't gonna hold you. Have a good one.
Nah, it's all good. Excuse me. I know all my African artists, man. Stop playing. Davido. All right, what's up? What y'all know about Starboy? What y'all know about Tashego? Y'all don't know about those African. I don't know why y'all think this. Oh shoot, Life of Energy. Thank you so much, my brother, for the $5 holler. I appreciate that, big time. This is not an ignorant stream because I love Africa. It's my home. I go there all the time, but I also gotta call a spade a spade when it comes to respecting the laws of America, because King James, for God so loved the world. What the heck? Thank you though, appreciate that. The thing with me is being in Africa makes me, makes me respect U.S. law more, because you would think, they're all Africans, so they just go all over the place, but nah, you a person from Zimbabwe trying to go into South Africa, they gonna have some smoke for you, bro. But thank y'all so much for watching this. I appreciate everything y'all do for me and the channel. Till the next time, take care of yourselves. But most importantly, please take care of each other.